Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnette D. Love. Listen, I am just glad I was able to get to a place where I can get to you. I came on a few hours late today because y'all remember yesterday I was telling you guys how I came in second on the in the horseshoe tournament. Came in second place, right? Out of all the teams that were there, mixed swing team came in second place. However, this morning, I don't know how, but I was in pain. I'm in pain. I'm around here walking like Fred Sanford's mama. I am in pain. I just took some medication, and I normally don't take my medication till I'm getting ready to go to sleep, but I couldn't take it. I mean, I worked muscles that I did not know that I had. And so I think it was worse than basic training. That's how I feel, worse than basic training. Because it's only a certain part of me. My arm, I thought it would be painful this morning or today, but it's not. There's a little soreness, okay? But this from the waist down to right below right above the knee. Oh, nothing but pain. Nothing but pain. And I don't understand it because I'm like, I worked this side. I worked the right side yesterday. The left side is having so much pain. So I got that additional pain on top of the normal pain that I experience every day. So y'all pray for me because I got dance practice tomorrow. Yes, I do. And I got to get to dancing. I have to get to dancing. There's no excuse. So I need to get this body right tonight. And I want to just do one good stretch, right? But every time I try to stretch, the pain just intensifies. And so I don't know how I'm going to get that stretch in so that I'll be ready for tomorrow. I even tried, the hot, steamy water and all that stuff. Didn't work. So you talking about I was out there from 10 o'clock to practically 3:34. And I was barely sitting because I was sharing a chair with Mama because, of course, in Mama's fashion, she didn't want me to get her a chair out the car. But then as soon as I went and got my chair, as soon as I get up, she's sitting down. So when I got finished playing, I'm exhausted and thirsty. Mama still wants to sit in the chair. So naturally, being the good daughter that I am, I let her sit in the chair. And I mean, so I was on my legs more than I should have been if Mama would have just said, I'll take the chair. Next time, I'm just going to take her the chair. I guess I should have known to take out the chair for Mama, but y'all know my mama's spoiled too. But anywho, so I'm in pain today. So this is after the win. I'm still, gloating about that win. And then my partner called me today and told me that we actually was on the verge of winning because I had made the winning point that we needed to get the 21. I had made that point. But because the guy put his on top of mine, that's how we lost. He ended up getting the 5. And so, but we would have won had not he done that. So somebody didn't want me to win, but I'm just blessed to have my little trophy. And I had people calling me, congratulating me on that win, honey. The citizens. See, I love working in the community. I love doing stuff in the community. I love raising money to help, people in the community, whatever it is that we need to do, especially the kids. Anything for the children. This is for a scholarship fund. So the Charles W. Holler Scholarship Fund. I can't get that man's last name right to save my life. But it's a scholarship fund. And so, I mean, it just felt good to be a part of that. And I can't wait to do the same next year. When we riding with the American Legion Riders, just knowing that this money that we're raising is going to be used for the children, the veterans, it's amazing. And I just love participating in things like that, doing my community service, my share of community service. So this pain is well worth it. And being second place was well worth it too, because I did get me a trophy. When we got in the finals, right? When I realized that, hey, no matter what you do right now, you're still going to get a trophy. Y'all know I was psyched. The whole time I was saying, come on, soldier. Because I always I refer to myself as a soldier. And so I talk to myself, and, and I really, come on, soldier, you got this. And that's what I kept doing. I kept talking to myself and telling myself I got it and I can do it, and then I was the only female, so I was really psyched about it. And I was like, yeah, I got this, I can do it. Just stay in the box. All I got to do is stay in the box, And so yeah, we did it. And so that's what I wanted to say about yesterday. But then I told y'all on the title, we're going to talk story. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to talk story. I don't know why y'all ain't up with me. Where y'all at? I told y'all I was coming. I just couldn't come then. I was just, could barely move around here walking like a robot. But I did want to talk story. And I want to talk story about, how individuals kind of, and people can say I do the same thing, but I don't think we take an accountability that the same way that you value yourself, the same way that you put yourself on a pedestal, you feel that you are so much set aside that you're, some of us think that we're better than, that's the same way other people think about themselves as well. If you don't understand what I'm saying. So when you start thinking that your presence or your lack thereof means something to somebody, realize that they feel the same way. Some of them. You do have people that have low self-esteem that is, they're going to miss you being there. They're going to miss not being in contact with you. But when you have people such as myself that feel like their presence is an asset to you, or they're at peace. I'm more or less at peace with being by myself, whereas I don't want you disturbing my peace. So it doesn't matter when you remove yourself from these type of people. It doesn't matter to them as much as you think it does. Okay, because most people would rather live in let me just go back to peace. Most people would rather have solitude. Most people would rather be able to just enjoy themselves without a whole bunch of mess and stress going on than to have you in their life causing havoc. And so that's how I am. See, I love people. I love me some children. But guess what? I am, if you don't remember, I'm an introvert. So I can also be by myself because I love my me time. I love being by myself. I love enjoying myself. A lot of people say, oh, why do you go to the office? I go to the office because I don't have to worry about anybody coming in my house, opening doors, walking back and forth, and talking to me when I don't want to be spoken to. I can have my peace and my chill time, my relaxation time while I get work. And that is the same demeanor that a lot of other people have. So when you think that your absence really bothers people, I want you to think again. Think about what type of person you're dealing with. Is your absence really bothering this individual, or is your absence welcome? Because a lot of people, such as myself, do not like confrontation. A lot of people do not like the headache of having somebody in their face that's going to always cause disruption. And your absence is actually welcome. let me get it out. Your absence, that's a tongue twister. Your absence is actually welcomed. Your absence is welcome. They want you gone. We want you gone. We want you to go to somebody else and bother them. A lot of times we allow people to pull us into their mess. If you're the type of individual that don't like to gossip like with me, I learned from my grandmother that gossiping is not appropriate. It's inappropriate, okay? My grandmother never gossip around us. Now, I can say what she did in her private time. But for the most part, like her friends that were still living, they would always testify that or conclude that she didn't gossip. She did not sit around and let you talk about people. For one, my grandmother always used this analogy, you're not better than anybody else. Who are you supposed to be? And so because of that, she didn't feel that anyone was in a position to talk about someone else. Okay. And so I always kept my gossiping at a minimum. And it's not really gossiping. I'm the type of person, I'm going to say what I'm going to say. And most of the time when I say it, I really don't care if it gets back to the person because I would say it to them. And that's how I go. I don't gossip. I just state the facts. If I don't care for a person, my fact is I don't care for that person. I don't want them around me, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. But I'm not going to sit here and make up stuff about anybody. I'm not going to talk about anybody's handicap. I'm not going to do that. And so what happens is if I'm hanging with the wrong person, talking to the wrong person, I find myself voicing my opinion a little too much, a little too, what's the word? Well, basically just too much, too often. Okay. And that's not where I want to be. I don't want to do it like that because to me that turns into a form of gossiping. So let's watch what we do and what we say when we're talking to others. If we find ourselves voicing our opinion about others a little too much, a little too often, let's find something else to talk about because we are doing no better than the gossipers. Okay. And so sometimes we have to think back. We have to resort to taking a step back and re-inventing the wheel, if I may say. We have to remember that we are no better than anyone else. We are not in a position to be pointing fingers. And so we're going to have to continue to treat others the way we want to be treated. That's what we have to do. Okay. Even when individuals I know that keep me at the forefront of their tongue, want to keep talking about me and stuff like that, I don't have anything to say about them because I know that that's one battle I don't want to pick up. That's a battle that I want someone else to fight for me. And y'all know who that someone else when it comes to me. Y'all know who that someone else is. That's not a battle I want to take on myself. So for the most part, I let it go because I don't care. I do feel like, as long as you're talking about me, that's fine. When you cross that line of talking about me and you want to get physical, that's a little bit different. I pray that the Lord will guide me and give me the strength to turn the other cheek once it gets beyond talking. But I'm not sure if he will. And we do know that God turns away from sin. So he might just go ahead on and turn away. But what I'm saying is, as long as a person is talking about you, there's no need to really get into that mess. Let it go. Let it go. And I tell people all the time, especially my son, A person can't argue by themselves. You got to be able to, you got to be there and start putting something into that argument for it to flow the way that it's supposed to flow. Understand? The way the argument is supposed to flow is you supposed to argue, they're supposed to argue. If only one of you are arguing, it's going to be short-lived. Let them argue. Let them argue. You don't have to argue with anyone. Like I said, you can talk all you want to talk. It's fine. It's fine. And I haven't always been at this level of maturity. Absolutely not. I haven't always been at a level of maturity. But as you get older, at some point in your life, you should, let me say should, be at a position to where, or standing on a position to where you just don't care about a lot of nonsense, a lot of non-factors. You just don't care. And so you let it go. You ignore it. And that's where I am. A lot of stuff, I don't care. Like I had said, somebody went into my garage, right? So what? If there is nothing in that garage I want. If I put that thing in that garage, because the way my garage is detached from the house, ain't nothing I want. There is nothing I don't want. What I was more concerned about is the fact that you left my stuff uncovered than anything. If you're going to look through it, and put my stuff back. Put the lids back on it. That's my whole thing. Okay? So, that's the way. I don't care about that. I'm not sweating that. I'm not sweating that. My only concern was the fact that you was on my property. That's it. But that garage, I'm not sweating that garage. I don't want crap. If I put something in that garage, I might as well have put it on the garbage. Because I ain't going back in there and get it. And that is the truth. And that's with me with everything. Anything I leave outside, it might as well just stay out there. I'm not going back out there to get it. Okay? And that's just my mentality. So I believe that one day, those of us who have to jump at everything, those of us have to, respond to everything, one day we're going to be able to let it just roll down our backs. Let me tell y'all though, I want to tell you what I noticed recently. Facebook gets on my nerves. These people be getting on my nerves because you can't hold a conversation or whatever you call it when you're a thread without somebody getting smart. Why y'all always got to get smart out your mouths? That's what gets me. I don't understand why is it necessary to say something smart. And y'all know I've been referred to the Queen of Shade, so I do have to throw your little shade up there because y'all know everything. Everything. You guys on Facebook, not everybody, but a lot of on social media, period. A lot of people know more than the person that's telling the story. You know more than the person that was starring, producing, directing, and casting the story. How do you know all of that? How do you know more than that individual? And that's what be getting me about social media. You guys are geniuses. Y'all know everything about everything. And it is freaking aggravating at times. It really is. And sometimes I just be wanting to shut down my social media pages. I do, but I can't let one rotten apple spoil the whole barrel for everybody else, for the people that like or enjoy when I come on and talk to them, the people that actually learn from my conversations. So that is why I stay. But sometimes it gets so aggravating with these doctors. These professional, these It gets aggravated because some of them know everything, y'all. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to say. This medication I'm taking is kicking in. But I have to take it and pray that it helps me with this pain I told y'all about earlier. So, anywho, so let's do this. Let's start weeding out the non-factors. Let's start that. Let's start there. Let's start determining, is this even worth a reply? Like, okay, let me say this. Back in the day when people started wearing dreadlocks, right? Dreadlocks, locks, what do you call it? Whisk or wisp, or whatever they are, wisp, two strand, all that stuff was it was under the dreadlock name. Everything was dreads. Everything was dreads. We did not care what these special names or different names you had. Back in the day, it was, do he have dreads? And everybody knew that whatever it was in their head, if it was together in a lock, it was a dread. So now, for me who grew up in that era, when I see locks, wisps, whatever, I still call them dreads. Well, we have all these walking encyclopedias that want to tell me they want to specify locks. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. It doesn't matter what you call them to me. They're still going to be dreads. That's what they're going to be. They're going to be dreads to me. So was it necessary for me to respond? Absolutely not. Because I don't care what you say. I don't care how you correct me. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be dreads to me. It's going to be dreads. So that is what I want y'all to do. Practice on deciphering what is necessary to respond to and what's not necessary to respond to. Practice on that. Because you will find that a lot of stuff is just some nonsense happening. A lot of stuff not even worth us parting our lips to respond to that. I'm telling you. It's really not. So let's just, let's go there with that. And now, this medicine is kicking in. This medicine is kicking in. Oh my God, y'all just don't know what your girl be going through. I'm telling you, y'all know I'm a disabled veteran, and sometimes I gotta really, really, really get that medication going. And this is why I ask people all the time, be kind to vets. Be kind to vets because you don't know what some of us are going through. Not just physically, but also mentally. You do not know what some of us are going through. There are some things that we have seen, some of us more than others, and it's hard to digest. It's not something that you could just get over. It's not something that you could ignore that happened. There is some things that we've been through, and same difference, you can't just get over it. You can't forget that it happened. Mine, if I may share with you just for a few minutes, one of the things that I've been through is a lot of, let me say, I would use the word prejudice since in the military. I've been through a lot of it. I went in the 90s, and I would say each year it kind of got better because they kind of, really enforcing equality and stuff like that. So I would say from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, it probably got better each decade. But you still had individuals from those different eras there. You know, when I was in 90, I went in 1990. Excuse me, y'all. So I went in 1990. My supervisor had been in there in the 70s. And so he was there when they used to actually fight the soldiers, you know, to get them to do what they say. And then, of course, over time, all of that was forbidden. He was in. I met some people who had been E5s for almost a whole career, and they was happy with that because at that time, that was a good thing to be a supervisor or a sergeant, and it wasn't a big deal to retire as a sergeant. And then they started raising the ante, and you had to make rank in order to stay in and stuff because they were trying to downsize. And so things changed with the times, of course, but there were still remnants of prejudice and racism. By the time I got there, I was being overlooked for promotion in my lower ranks. My supervisor looked out for me, and he pushed it. And whenever they would overlook me for promotion, he would stand up and remind them, hey, this is not such and such year, and Max Swain is in the running for promotion. Why didn't she get that promotion? Why did you promote that soldier over her? And he had to do that for me twice. And he did it up until I made E4, and then I was on my own. And he told me, he said, listen, okay, I done got you promoted this far. You got to do the rest. And he had already fixed it where I was going to college, and he explained to me how my college credits would get me promoted, and the reason why I needed to continue to work on those college credits. I mean, he just kept on explaining to me how to get promoted so that I won't get passed over. And I did everything he told me to do. But I remember that, I guess it was like the shock of people talking to you like you didn't matter. Because I didn't have that growing up. We didn't have that where I was. I just never experienced it. And so I had a mentality where, okay, I came in the military when I was 17. I'm 18 now. You're not going to talk to me like that. I can go home. I still got a little time. I can go stay with my mom. I can go back to school. I had options. Everybody don't have options. And so some people had to take that, and they didn't know how to speak for themselves because they felt that that's what they had to deal with. But me, on the other hand, I didn't, and I never did. And after a while, every duty station, people got used to mixed swing. They got used to the fact that you couldn't threaten me with that job because I know that in here, there's more. I knew that in here, in my heart, there was more. So you couldn't threaten me with my job as being military. Even when I decided to depart from the military, people couldn't believe it because they get in there and they feel like there's nothing after. Listen, there's so much after the military. You just got to go do it. You just got to put your foot out there and do it. And so that was just one of my issues with the military that I experienced. But I didn't let that cause me to judge everybody the same, if y'all understand what I'm saying. I didn't blame this person for how this person treated me. And I never do. I don't blame a group of people on how a few treated me. I just don't. And I try to treat everybody the way I want to be treated. So it doesn't matter what you got in your head and how you're thinking. I'm going to treat you the way that I'm thinking that I want to be treated, if that make any sense to y'all. And that's why I don't do that racism and that back and forth and that, tick for tack stuff. I just don't. I treat you the way I want to be treated, and I just believe and trust that everything is going to work out. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to let you abuse me, because trust and believe that's not going to happen. But I'm not going to start off with something against anybody. No, I'm going to look at you with a clean slate, and I'm going to treat you accordingly. I am going to move the way you move. To get a friend, you have to show yourself friendly. And for me, it doesn't matter what that friend looks like. It doesn't matter. I am going to be kind to you. And that's one thing that we have to learn how to do. It's some people out here, I don't even want to talk about them, but we got to learn how to be kind to each other. And we have to learn how to stop judging each other. I'm not saying that we have to be in denial. I'm not saying that we have to be in a place where we don't recognize mistreatment. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is initially start off treating people the way you would like to be treated. And that's what I'm saying. And with that, I reiterate being kind to veterans. Some of these veterans have walked over dead bodies. Excuse me. Oh my God. Some of them have walked over dead bodies. Some of them have seen children. Boom. Y'all know. The things that some of our veterans have seen, experienced, and then they come home and be disrespected. They come home and treat it like they haven't done anything for our country. They come home, can't get any help. They come home and can barely live. Come home and can't get medical. And if you get medical, you can't get dental unless you got a certain percentage. While we're taking away things, we should be adding to what we give to our veterans. Veterans shouldn't have to worry about dental, medical, or anything that they may need. That should be at our fingertips. That should be a no-brainer. But, some that haven't served makes the decisions. Some that haven't served makes the decisions. I get a call. Well, I had a phone call today about, first I got a message about the draft. Excuse me. I have mixed emotions about it, because even though I wasn't in a draft, of course, I served my time, and during that time, I was in a position that I would go fight for my country. Actually, I was on hold to go fight for my country, or whatever they would have me doing over there in Saudi Arabia. I was on hold. And so one part of my mind is saying, this is what this is what comes with being, a citizen. Okay. Another part of my mind is saying, our babies, our poor babies, you know. And another part of my mind is saying, well, they'll get back over here, and some of them would decide to stay in. Some of them, their lives will be changed for the better. And then another part of my mind is saying, you know, pray for them all. Pray for them all. It's hard. It's hard thinking about it. I have a son that's going to be on that list because it's from 18 to 25. I pray for them all. I pray for them all. So be careful how you treat the veterans. Be careful. You know what? I think I told y'all before. But if not, I'm going to tell you again. I was in Walmart and I hear this man fussing. Obviously, he's a veteran. I mean, he's got on this like camo jacket. It wasn't really camo. I mean, this was the olive green from Vietnam time frame. So he got on that jacket, okay? That jacket is highly decorated with all kinds of stuff on it, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of stuff. I'm trying to figure out what would make you want to step to this man here. What would make you want to say anything to this man out of the way? And so this young guy disrespected this man that was dressed in this decorative jacket that you can clearly see is from Vietnam time, or Vietnam, however you want to pronounce it. This young man apparently goes up on this man like he's about to do something. Well, this veteran goes clean off. I mean, he gets the fussing and he was like, step up on me again. Step up on me again. I mean, this man done snapped into defense mode. This man is ready for war. And when I tell you that young buck got up out of there, honey, because he was not ready. But baby, if I was close to him, I would have told him, babe, you're not ready for that. First of all, look at what he has on. He is getting ready to do some damage to you. Do not step up on that man. Do you clearly not see that something is about to happen? As a matter of fact, do you not see that you're about to go to war? You are about to go to war time. I mean, you have to pay attention to people. Look at how they're dressing when they got on those little battle hats and stuff like that. Pay attention, because some of the veterans have faced so many things and they don't know reality from fantasy. They don't know their comings and their goings. All they know is wartime. All they know is go time. And you're out here harassing them, messing with them. Next thing you know, you're going to have you a serious problem. So be careful. Be careful with messing with our veterans. Be careful with how you talk to them, and just be respectful anyway. Be respectful to your elders. When I'm getting ready to let y'all go, but when did we start cursing around older people? When did we start that? When did we start being that disrespectful? When did we start not caring what we say in public? I just don't understand, because even as a teenager and my friends and my cousins, we didn't let adults hear us cuss. But these kids they don't care. And at some point, somebody need to say, that's not what you say. That's not how you talk. in public. I was at Gonna Corral one day, and these two girls, they're just talking and cussing and whatnot and blah blah. I felt like I was a part of the conversation. So when they went to get ready to leave, I said, "Y'all leaving?" It was like, "Yes, I'm gonna miss you." And it was like, "Oh, so you why?" Because I said, "Yeah, yeah, we had a good conversation." You know what I'm saying? Because next time, hopefully, with that being said, they will be mindful of the things that they say, how loud they say it, and what way that they say it. We got to get back to respecting others and respecting ourselves. We really do. Look, I told you we're going to talk story today, and I just want you to know that God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself. Then you can properly love on someone else. So we shall meet again. May you have a wonderful week. And I pray that I said something that would touch your spirit, touch your hearts, and make you realize that we need to do better. And humanity, as humans, we need to treat each other better. We need to support each other more. And we need to just love all up on each other. All right, now y'all take care and be safe.